Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Grant, for taking and covering this for me. I'm out in San Diego doing some fun stuff with my family, so I wanted to go through and put this together for you guys to have here before I leave. This week, we're talking about, last week, you hopefully were looking at some goals that you were setting, and you've got some good goals that you're excited about and are focused on. So, this week, we're going to talk about how important it is to see it, believe it, and achieve it. Matter of fact, we're going to do that for the next 3 or 4 weeks with some important life lessons. So, see it, believe it, achieve it. See it, believe it, achieve it. That's an important concept to have and to get ingrained into your head. Your family might think you're crazy if you're repeating that out loud where they can hear you, but trust me, it's okay. They love the new you and the new goals that you're setting. But you guys know that one of the changes I've made during my time of kind of ramping up was I started to dress for success. I decided that it was more important for me to have a break between my time off clothes and my work clothes. And you know, even my wife noticed. I started wearing the tie. She said, "Wow, you look taller." So she likes tall men. It's been a great change. So these changes are important to do. So, you guys have all started to lay some awesome foundations that are really important. Your foundations are being built on steel piers. And I want to take and drive these lessons deep into our lives for the next couple of weeks. So we're going to focus on this. Who better to get some life lessons from than the greatest championship winning coach of all time, John Wooden. Coach Wooden and his UCLA Bruins won an unprecedented 10 championships, 10 college basketball championships. So you already know about their incredible 88 straight win streak record that they set. But even more important to Coach Wooden than the sports titles was the development of the character of the young men that he coached. And you can hear about it from many of them and how he shaped and molded their lives. Even superstar Bill Walton, who often clashed with Coach Wooden during his college days, eventually wrote notes with quotes and lessons that he'd learned from Coach Wooden that he would take and put in the lunch boxes of his 4 young boys. Coach Wooden had a huge impact on the people he coached. Well, upon his death at age 99, Sports Illustrated in 2010 featured a story written by Alexander Wolf. Now, I followed the life of Coach Wooden, and I loved his life lessons on life and sports. So I picked up 4 championship life lessons from this article. So we're going to look at those over the next couple of weeks. So lesson number 1, keep first things first. Keep first things first. Wooden was a devout Christian. He even carried a tiny little cross that he kept in his pocket at all times. And if he ever felt himself getting too heated up about something, he'd reach in his pocket and feel that cross and be reminded, he said, of who he served and what his values were in life. It calmed him down. Well, Coach Wooden was also devoted to his wife and his family. The writer of that article wrote this: ultimately, he could count more great-grandchildren, 13, than NCAA titles. Each shone brighter than a trophy in his eyes. That was what was first to him in his life. The value statement for the company that I work for, Keller Williams, is God, then family, then business. It's a great value statement. So how are you doing at keeping first things first? Does your big why reflect a bigger purpose in life? What about your goals? Are they self-centered, or are some of them focused on others? How much time are you allowing in your life to develop that relationship with God that we've talked about? How much time does your family get? And are you fully present in those times? I hope you have some significant financial goals. Don't get me wrong, okay? But the real purpose of those goals, though, is what you're going to do through those goals. Will those goals allow you to have more support and financial resources to support your bigger purposes in life? One thing that drives me is being able to provide some really cool memories for my family. Remember, my big why involves creating magic moments. Magic moments like the yearly family camping trip that we helped to fund. Well, one year when I was driving back from that yearly camping trip, I was struck by the fact that life is really just a series of moments. It moves so quickly. And when we look back on life, most of what we really remember are those moments. We tend to forget the work or the negative or the arguments that might have happened while those moments were occurring. and we remember the significant events and the time that we spent together. So I'll never forget the moment on that same trip. One of our daughters couldn't go on the trip with us, so we took my grandson Braden with us, and we were kind of responsible for him on the trip. And I was trying to get him to take a nap because he was, getting a little, it was that time of day. And the problem was he really wasn't very tired. And so as we're laying in the camper together, and I'm trying to get him to quiet down, he just rolls over and gives me a big old kiss on the cheeks and says, "Papa, I love you as big as the moon." Still makes me tear up a little bit when I think of that moment. Talk about a magic moment. That was it. And that's where I really started to focus in on what my biggest purpose in life is, creating magic moments. This will be a good week for you to do some evaluating as you look at those goals. Make sure the goals you're pursuing are worthwhile and that you're keeping first things first. See you next time.